so I made up these 9 bullet points. I went through all the writing I'd done last year when I was just writing on what I was experiencing and circling and learning from you. And then I wrote that article that my brother helped me to edit. He put it in the shape that it is. So my original writing is 14 pages. It's nothing like the article that people are enjoying. And I'm really grateful to him for helping me to put it in that way. But here I have more a clinical explanation of aspects of circling. And so getting of worlds is the number 9. Number 1, I say, is the emphasis on sovereignty and subjectivity and direct experience. I have all that lumped into one. Mm-hmm. And so the way circling teaches us to keep returning to sovereign experience, to keep drawing from direct knowledge of subjective experience, all that goes together. And so I write that.
And so this is number 1 that you're reading. Just okay.
That subjective reality is understood to mean each person's unique intelligence. That we're not talking about objective reality, but subjective through the senses, through direct knowing. And then once we learn to trust that, there's just a continual unfolding. If I'm angry in this moment, I don't have to be angry forever, but in this moment, there's a wisdom in my anger. And so trusting that it's okay to hang out there in relationship with you, and that I'm making the correlation that the sense of sovereignty is our home base, just like the secure base. And so that's something we're experiencing when we're circling. We keep experiencing that over and over.
So what you're saying is that it's like that essentially what you're saying is sovereignty. I want to make sure I'm getting it first. So the sovereignty, what you're saying the sovereignty is essentially being grounded in knowing, one, that I have an interiority, an internal experience, and a subjective experience. That there's lots of experiences out there, but I know which one's mine, right? And I know where it's located. Am I getting it?
Yep.
And that not only that I know that I have a subjectivity, but what I'm hearing you say is with sovereignty, do you mean that there's a certain kind of trust or a sense of validity I have in being sovereign about my subjectivity?
Yeah.
Is it like I give myself permission to feel what I feel, experience what I experience? And what I heard you say is that I trust that there's an innate intelligence to that experience, that even if it doesn't necessarily, like, for example, even if I'm not exactly sure why I'm angry, or my anger doesn't necessarily make sense to my mind, but in sovereignty, there's a trust in whatever it is that I'm experiencing, and that it's intrinsically valid.
Exactly. And, and in Monday Night Circling and the drop-in circles we have, I hear over and over and over and over, especially when people are trying to understand the circling process and struggling, and they'll say, I want to speak correctly, or I want to get it right, or I'm feeling disconnected. I don't know why, but we keep slowing it down and just being with that process of. So I heard you say that last night to someone. You said, you referenced what you heard, and then you said, and you don't know why, and there sounds like there's something important to that, and just by you mirroring that, stayed with an unfolding experience. And why it's different than psychotherapy is a lot of psychotherapy is relational. There's all kinds of therapy, so I'm not knocking therapy, but
in fact, you're one of them, right?
Yeah, I'm not knocking myself. Right. I'm saying that in traditional therapy, there's, as far as I know, not a lot of emphasis on present moment experience, which is number 2. And I think that there is generally the effort to help somebody to grow their self-esteem and trust their own experience. But I don't think that, I gather, it doesn't happen as directly as we do it in circling, because we don't keep coming back directly. We'll go to the past. And if you spend a lot more time in the past, that can happen there too. I mean, psychotherapy is for developing secure attachment, but in a lot of ways, it happens in a very different way because it's not an equal relationship. And so it's more of a parent-child recreation than peer-to-peer recreation
right.
of secure attached feelings. So